In today's video, we're gonna rank every sword in Bloxfruits using a tier list. Alright, so the first sword I'm gonna check out on is the sword twin hooks. Alright, so the skills on the twin hooks are the Sky Cyclone, the Prehistoric Hunt. The two abilities are quite good, I'm not gonna lie. So I'll rate this sword at A tier, because this sword is quite good to use. Oh, this sword? Yeah, we're gonna put it like right over here. We're not gonna talk about this sword. Okay, the next sword we're gonna check out on is the Rengoku sword. This sword is quite good now. Look at the abilities on this. See that damage? 11k. So I rank this sword at S tier. It's so easy. It's just that easy. Alright, the next sword I'm gonna check out on is the Deadly Saber sword. Look at the damage on this godly sword. Look at this. 10k. 10k. This sword is just a first C sword, and look how the damage this is. 6k on the Z move, 4k on the X move. So I rank this sword at easily A tier, because this sword is quite good, but it doesn't have like much more mobility on it. So I just put it on A tier. Moving on. Alright, moving on. The next sword, you go here, buddy. Because this sword is quite trash. Absolute trash. Alright, the next sword, what is this? Oh, it's the Wado. I put this sword as B tier because I really don't have this sword. Because I'm actually trash at this game. I just don't have this sword yet. But soon I'll check this sword out and put it somewhere. But I put it at B tier because this didn't get a revamp on the brand new update. Alright, the next sword we're gonna check out on is the revamped Coco. The Coco didn't really get a revamp, but just the visual effects. So check it out on your own. But I usually, yeah, the moves are still the same, but the moves are still the same, but the developers just changed the effects. So I put it on like at A tier. Alright, the next sword is Tolkien. This sword is quite good for gun mains. Like literally, every gun main can literally do anything with this sword. They usually like absolutely godly with this sword. They're absolutely good with this sword because this sword has with this sword solo, it has good stuns. I'm not lying. Look at the stuns. This sword has good stuns, I'm not lying. So I put this sword at S tier because this sword is quite good for gun mains. I really like it a lot. Alright, the next sword we're gonna check out is the ples second form. I'm pretty sure it's only the visual effects. Yeah, just the visual effects. So I rank this at B tier. It's not really good at damage, and it's also not good at stuns. Not really. It's in my opinion, okay? This is my opinion on the tier list. So okay, moving on. The TTK. I don't have this sword, but this sword is actually S tier because it has a good like knockback. It has a good knockback with the like X move. So yeah. It's quite good. Alright, moving on, we have the Buddy Sword. So this sword didn't really get a, revamp, but the damage are quite good. It has burn damage, it has a knockback, so I put it at A tier. Right, next, the Dark Dagger. Yes, another sword that I don't have, so I put this at A tier. Because this sword, you can actually like aimbot with this if you have godly aim. So I really love this sword, even though I don't have it. But soon, I'll upload a video on this, on when I get it. Soon, maybe soon. Alright, the next sword we're gonna check out on is the Shisui. Alright, this sword didn't really change at all, but did like an upgrade of the visual effects. It changed a bit. So like, boom, then boom. The skills are the same, but the visual effects just got an upgrade. So I put this at B tier. I don't know, bro. Let's just put it at B tier because it has a good skills, but it's just not for me, It's just not for me. Alright, moving on. The next sword, Gravity Cane. Alright, you already know what tier this is. As you can see of the skills, you know what tier this is. S tier easily. S tier is easily, Alright, next sword is the Tushita. This sword, it's my favorite. It's my top 3 favorite. Cause look at this. Look at the skills on this. 10k. I can actually do any combo with this sword. So this sword is easily S tier. The brother of the Tushita sword, Yama. So this sword is quite usually good with the shadow combo, but I don't really use this. So I don't really use this sword. So I put this at B tier. It's good, but I don't really use it. So yeah, I just put it at B tier. Alright, next sword, the Bicento. I don't see people using this anymore. So yeah, I don't even have the V2 of the sword. See? So I put this at C tier. I don't use this sword and I don't have the V2, and I also don't see people use this sword. I don't know why, but yeah. Alright, next sword is a Cavender. I don't know why this sword didn't get a revamp. If this sword got a revamp, I could have put this on A tier, but the skills are just the same. Look, are just the same. So I put this at C tier. Alright, next is a Dark Blade, the sword that I don't have. This is actually an S tier sword. I love the effects. I love everything about the sword. It's a pay to win sword for me, but I need people to buy me. I need people to buy me this sword, please, guys. Buy me this sword, please. Alright, next sword, the Sadi. This sword got an insane revamp. The Z move changed. See that? And also the X move. I might do a video on this sword. I'm not lying. So I put this sword at A tier. Alright, next sword, the long sword. This sword has had a big improvement. See that? You guys wanna do this? The effects and everything about this sword, I like it. It's cool. It's naturey. I put it at A tier. But I don't use this sword, so I just put it at B tier. I rank this sword in my opinion. Okay, so if you hate this tier list, quit off the video. Alright, next sword is a Jete that I don't have. I don't know why I don't have this sword, but I love the effects on it. It's just a basic sword. So yeah, I quite like it for like blinds and stuff to troll your enemies. So I put it at B tier. I liked it. It's like a 50-50 for me. Okay, the number one sword in my heart. The number one sword for me. The Midnight Blade. I mean, you already know what tier this sword will be. So look at the skills on that. You already know what tier this is. I put this tier sword at S tier. Right, my top 4 favorite sword. The Spiky. I have godly aim with this. Capping, I don't have a godly aim with this sword. I'm actually bad at this game. But anyways, just look at the sword. It has good damage. You can do any combos with this sword. So this sword is, I put it at S tier, because you can actually do any combos with this. I mean, like literally, you can do any combos. Okay, the last and final sword, the CDK, aka the Cursed Dual Katana. This was my first and favorite sword when I bounty hunted. When I was like 2.5 mil, this was my literally first sword I used when I was bounty hunting. This sword has good damage. I was just using the God Human combo, and I was OP back then. So I put this sword at S tier. Okay, so here's my tier list on these swords. My actual opinion on these swords. So here's the tier list. You can screenshot this and send it to your friends. This is my tier list. Swords tier list. Official swords tier list. I hope you stick to the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching.